It is Thursday, April 7th in the NBA, and I'm back with my favorite plays. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. Let's do a recap from yesterday. A quick and easy 2-0 day. I'd bring out the brooms, but we like to save those for at least 3-0. But still, Durant over 28.5 points. Started up slow, ended up hitting, I believe, 32 points on the dot. And Al Horford, we added his play over 21.5 PRAs. Easily crushes that. I think he went 7 for 7 from the field, like 17 points, 10 rebounds. Moving up to 23-9 over our last 32 picks. Pretty good run around to close the NBA season. Let's hope we can continue that momentum today. If you are new to the Calling Our Shot channel, what are you doing? Go down below, hit that subscribe button. I believe at this moment we are 20 subscribers away from 30,000. So maybe you could be our 30,000th subscriber. You could put that on your resume. Guarantee you're getting the job. But either way, we'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. Drop a like too. Today is April 7th, and that means opening day in the MLB. So we will have our best bets videos uploaded daily for MLB. That was uploaded right before this video, and that's kind of how it's going to go. We're going to upload the MLB video first, then the NBA one, and we're going to get after it every single day. We will also have a parlay of the day on OddsJam, which I will link down below. That will be specifically for baseball in the MLB, but you can definitely check it out. We would appreciate it. Now, we do have a new shirt on. Darius Garland rocking the COS Hall of Famer. He hasn't played today, but maybe he plays tomorrow. Now, shout out again to our COS All-Stars. We appreciate you guys all for supporting the channel. Maybe we helped you make some money yesterday. If you want to consider giving some of it back, maybe for a little bit of good karma. It only costs $2.99 a month. You get a couple cool extra perks, but there's none better than you get the plays an hour early, sometimes maybe even 2 hours early before this video goes live. So definitely want to check it out. Around 7 a.m. you'll get the plays, and then we'll post the videos probably around 7:30, and then 8:30 or 9. So definitely check it out. Click the join button on the channel, the link in the description, or the link in the pinned comment to become an all-star. Our newest ones, TBT God, Emma Bell, Chris F, Christopher Smith, both became all-stars on the live stream. Appreciate you guys for coming out. James Dorr, Todd Live for Sundays. I told you if we swept that I would shout you out. Now, we didn't we kind of swept yesterday, so shout out to you. It's no surprise that once you became an all-star, we went undefeated on our picks. Arian, and then It's Young Lee. We appreciate all you guys for supporting the Calling Our Shot channel. We can't do it without you guys, so thank you guys again from the bottom of my heart. And today, like yesterday, let's get into today's videos. And today's a weird one, just like yesterday was, because we don't have any lines available. And in fact, actually, we have one line, and it's for Joel Embiid, and we have his points, rebounds, and assist line. He's the only guy we have on the slate. And so I'm just going to talk about each of the games. We'll put the updated comments down below in the pinned comment. I'll put exactly what I'm playing today, probably only 2 to 3 plays, but I'll get you at least to hear my spread lean, which I think we went 4-1 yesterday. And then we'll talk about, because I don't think we did one in the Knicks-Nets game, and then we'll talk about some player prop lines that I like, but obviously check that pinned comment for any plays that we actually add. Then I'll indicate which one would be my best bet for our record's sake. Now, look, we'll probably try to update that by noon Eastern time, but let's get into it. Let's talk about the Magic versus Hornets. Now, I look at LaMelo Ball over 7.5 assists. I say the 7.5 because that's the line on PrizePicks right now, but who knows if it will be 8.5. But LaMelo's been very good as of late, and he's hit this line in 4 of his last 5 games. He's had 14, 5, 15, 11, and 9 assists. So it appears they're kind of saying, LaMelo, we want you to run the offense, as Terry Rozier's in an absolute funk. But look, we've seen potential assists for LaMelo go from 13 on the season all up to 17 over the last 5 games. He had 8 assists versus Orlando in their last matchup back in, I believe, January. That was on just 10 assist chances. We might do some sort of ladder play here. I do like that. Him to get over 7.5, maybe even a double-double for LaMelo. We'll consider looking at that. So definitely checking that pinned comment down below. See exactly what line Mr. LaMelo Ball gets. Now, as for my spread lean in this one, I take the Magic plus 13.5. Look, it's not sexy. Wouldn't put my life on the line in this pick, in this game, but I do lean the Magic to cover this one. Look, the Magic have been an annoying team for the past couple weeks. People always are betting against them because like, well, who the heck are the Magic trotting out there? And then they somehow manage to cover at the end of the game, and they even beat the Cavs outright for whatever reason. But I do like the Magic to keep this one close in this one, so that's why I don't mind LaMelo Ball's over and assists. But moving on to the second game, the Celtics versus Bucks. It's going to be an interesting one because we obviously saw the Celtics play yesterday, absolutely spanking the Bulls, something the Bulls are used to. They play any good team, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, we're not showing up for this one. But I lean the Bucks minus 5.5 in this one solely because I do expect several guys to not be active for the Celtics. We obviously saw Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, all game time decisions yesterday. They were on a back-to-back. Likely want to get these guys a little bit of rest. I know playoff seeding is important, but these guys have been playing non-big minutes the past several months, and so I don't see them forcing Al Horford into too much here, especially on a back-to-back with the playoffs right around the corner, especially with Robert Williams still out. So I don't mind taking the Bucks minus the 5.5 points. This line could shift a lot. I do see Giannis as probable, so hopefully Giannis is out there if you're taking the Bucks to back them. Not sure I'll really add a spread as an official play just because it's the end of the NBA season. Things are wonky, and I don't really want to mess with it. But I do like Middleton's over in rebounds plus assists. I imagine this line will be right around 10.5 if I had to guess. He did go under last game, but he has a very good track record against the Celtics team, and he has a very good track record in general. So I think they're going to get Chris Middleton going. I think he was absolutely terrible their last game. I think you get him going. So, well, I'm not sure necessarily if we'll take Middleton's PRA or over in rebounds plus assists on this one, but it is a bet to definitely consider if you're looking at the lines out there. We'll definitely, like I said, check that pinned comment section down below for any added plays. Likely only going to have 2, maybe 3 plays max today, so that will probably be the case over the last couple days of the NBA season. But moving on to the next game, Raptors versus Sixers, the only game we have a player prop line available, Joel Embiid. Don't really love his matchup today. We've seen the Raptors be a very tough defensive team, and they've been really double teaming, triple teaming, quadruple teaming the star player on the opposing team. So I don't really want to take Joel Embiid's lines today. He does have the scoring lead at the moment, and who knows if LeBron James is playing another game. Would not surprise me if LeBron doesn't play again until the final game of the season, and he just goes out for the scoring title, trying to shoot 45 times in that game. But I do like the Raptors minus the 1.5 points. They're at home. We obviously see Matisse Thybulle not playing today. No comment on that one. But James Harden, I liked his under in points, and Fred VanVleet over in points. Now I know Fred VanVleet, people have clicked off the channel like Fred VanVleet burned us so good yesterday or last game, 4 for 21 from the field. Yes, I understand. He burned us good, but the field goal attempts have been there for Fred VanVleet. He can't miss them all, right? Like he physically can't miss every single. I mean, he tried last game to miss as many shots as he could, but I think he's going to bounce back a little bit today. Back at home, I think he gets it done. And then James Harden really been struggling. Like I talked about, Raptors have been a very good defensive team over their past, really since the All-Star break. They've kind of turned it up a notch. So James Harden really struggling, also struggling on the road where they are today in Toronto. I know it's going to be a sketchy one. His line has been 22.5 over the past couple games. Wouldn't be surprised if they lower it to like 19.5 just for how bad and he has been. Not been looking for a shot all too often. So we'll see. I know the Raptors are a team that sometimes can foul a lot, which obviously plays into the hand of James Harden, but I don't mind taking that under for James Harden. We'll exactly see what line he gets as the day goes on. I like the Raptors to win that one as well. Sixers, no bueno on the road. They've not been good. Now moving on to the Timberwolves versus Spurs. Game with a high over-under, I think 238.5. And I really do like the Timberwolves minus 8.5 in this one. Now the Spurs got a lot of people out. I got DeJounte Murray, got several other guys out. And the Spurs, in my opinion, they had a lot of motivation to win the past couple games, but I don't really see them having a ton of motivation these days to win these games. Now, I imagine they get some guys rest in this matchup, and so we saw obviously the Timberwolves lose a big game to the Wizards on the road. Or I think they were actually at home. They lost by like 15 points, but that's unacceptable. They got to bounce back in this one. I think this is a big bounce back, blowout performance against the Spurs, a team that they've beat by 10 and 25 in their 2 matchups this season. And if I had to pick a guy, I'd pick Cat over in PRAs. Now, the only thing concerning me would be a blowout, but the last time these two teams played, 60 points and 17 rebounds. Like I said, I don't think the Spurs really need to win this one. I think they're kind of content in that 10 seed in the play-in tournament. I don't see them catching the New Orleans Pelicans, who are the 9 seed. So I imagine they get their guys rest in this one, especially as the games are kind of closing out in the season. So I expect the Timberwolves to run away with this one and easily win this one against the Spurs. And like I said, I take Cats over in PRAs. They play Jakob Poeltl. He has police. They got no chance of guarding him. And so I think Cat goes out and puts up a big performance once again. Now, he did have added motivation in that 60-point performance, so I'm not betting him to score 40-plus points, but I think he has scored 25-plus in both games versus this Spurs team. I think that would continue if the Spurs are at least trotting out a reasonable lineup and it's not a complete blowout. But the next game we move on to, we got 3 more. Let's talk about Pelicans versus Blazers. Plug your nose, because this one's a yucky one, but I really like Keon Johnson. I mentioned him last game that they played, liked his over in points. He scored 18 points, shooting a lot. And I don't mind Drew Eubanks unders, because I don't see him playing a ton of minutes. A spread pick, Blazers plus 16.5. I like taking the points, but I would never bet a spread pick in this one. It's just a weird one to predict. We saw the Thunder versus Jazz yesterday. Consider taking the Thunder plus 17.5. Yeah, no, how's the losing by 36? And maybe that's the case here, as the Blazers are early actively tanking in this one. So probably would flip that and probably take the Pelicans minus 16.5. I don't really think a lot of teams are better than other teams by 17 points, but the Blazers are actively trying to lose games. They actively lost that 4th quarter against the Thunder in their last one. So I don't mind taking the Blazers. I really don't know. This spread lean is kind of tough for that one. Now, Nuggets versus Grizzlies, an interesting one. Now, I have on the screen, I take the Grizzlies +3 if Morant's inactive. With Ja Morant, as of this moment, I saw his game time decision. Don't really expect him to play, but if he's inactive, likely lean the Grizzlies. Now, if Morant is active, I take the Nuggets -3. And while that might seem unlikely, that makes you, Austin, that makes absolutely no sense. He's their best player. Yeah, I understand, and that's why I would take the Nuggets if he plays, just because teams really, we've seen all season long, they've really struggled when their star players come back from injury and all of that. They just don't look active. We've seen the Grizzlies be so good without Morant. That's because the team plays with a ton of passion, a ton of heart, and they're really kind of playing with a lot more effort than I think they do with Morant inactive. I think these guys get a lot more shots, like kind of more in a rhythm. Now with Morant active, they don't really get all of that, and maybe they're not as good of a defensive team. I don't really know what goes on, but I would take the Nuggets -3 if Morant is active, Grizzlies +3 if Morant inactive. Obviously, PRA, Jokic, I mean, the man's been an absolute glitch, like 55 plus PRAs in like 6 straight games. Does have a good track record versus Steven Adams. I anticipate him to continue that, and I think the Nuggets still have things to play for, especially after losing their last game to the San Antonio Spurs. So I think Jokic continues it. I'm genuinely curious what line he gets today. I think I saw on PrizePicks he had 30.5 points. I think he had 13.5 rebounds. I imagine his assist line is 8.5. So expect his line 52.5. I don't really know if we'll play it at that, but I would lean his over in PRAs. But the man's been crazy. And then the last game on the slate, Warriors versus Lakers. It's a pool party, baby, because I'm taking Jordan Poole's over in points if they give us a reasonable line. Klay Thompson also been lighting up the Lakers, but it's like I said, the slate is not very good, and so that's why you likely will only see me add, maybe 2-3 plays down below in the pinned comment section. But I do like Poole. He's been very good. Lakers really struggled against opposing guards. Lakers eliminated from the playoffs. No real reason for them to try too much in this one. But on the flip side, I like the Lakers plus the 12.5 because it makes no sense. And that's betting spreads in the NBA. You got to take things that make no sense. Who knows if AD? Who knows if LeBron? I don't even think LeBron's active today. Look, doesn't matter. I think the Lakers will cover this one. Warriors haven't been blowing out teams, and this is the one that people would say, oh, look, they're without their two best players, AD and LeBron. Maybe even if those guys play, they're still without them. They're not trying. They don't have any incentive to win. So naturally, the Lakers would win. They would probably cover, or at least cover in this one, just because there'll be a lot more money on the Warriors than it will be the Lakers. But still, I like the pool party. I like his over in points if he does play. Maybe he's over in threes. We've seen guards obviously light up the Lakers all season long. But that's just kind of me breaking down the whole slate. I don't really love doing this. I like to give you exact plays, but when the ball is forced out of my hand, I don't really have a choice. But like I said, check that pinned comment section down below, not only for the MLB video, which is linked on the screen right now, but also for that Odds Jam Parlay of the Day MLB article. Check out that. We'll also have, obviously, our pinned plays, our new plays, whatever. I'll let you know which one is the best bet of the day for the people that are tracking out there. We appreciate you guys. Sorry about the weirdo video, but I appreciate you guys. We'll have a player prop in the MLB, a no-run first inning in the MLB, so definitely check out that video. Let's have a great day in the NBA for Thursday and a great opening day in the MLB. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.